Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the world of the low-code revolution. Now, this is a tech movement that isn't just about building software faster. It's about changing who gets to build it in the first place.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll unpack the massive problem that actually created the need for this. Then we'll look at the new way of building, the new type of creator that's emerged because of it, what they're actually making, and finally, where this is all going.
So let's start with a huge challenge that is hitting pretty much every single business out there today. This constant, relentless pressure to go digital, like right now.
I mean, think about it. From customer-facing apps to internal workflows, the demand for new software is absolutely exploding. Companies are in this frantic race to transform, but the finish line just keeps getting further and further away. But here's the catch. A massive bottleneck. The financial hit from the IT skills gap is projected to balloon to a mind-boggling $340 billion. And get this, that's just in the Asia-Pacific region alone. There just aren't enough developers to keep up with this tidal wave of demand.
So this creates a huge problem, right? It's a question that keeps business leaders up at night. If you can't hire coders fast enough, how on earth do you build the tools you need just to compete, let alone win?
So how do you solve a problem like that? Well, with a fundamentally new way of building applications, one that basically sidesteps that whole coding bottleneck altogether.
Enter low-code and no-code platforms, or LCNC for short. These things completely change the game. They take all that complex line-by-line coding and hide it away, replacing it with a visual, much more intuitive interface.
And this is maybe the best way to think about it. It's a huge mental shift. Instead of trying to write a novel from scratch in a language you don't speak, it's more like building with Legos. You're not worrying about syntax, you're just snapping together pre-built blocks to create what you need.
So how does it actually work? Well, it all boils down to a few key ideas. You use visual tools to design your app, a simple drag-and-drop interface to put it together, and a whole library of reusable parts for common things you need. And the whole thing is built to be scalable, so you can start small and get bigger as you go. And here's where things get really interesting, because whenever you create a new kind of tool, you always create a new kind of builder. And that brings us to the citizen developer. Now, these are not your typical software engineers. These are your project managers, your HR specialists, your finance analysts, the people on the front lines who know the business problems inside and out because they live them every single day. And this image here, it just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got your professional developers, the ones with deep technical skills. And on the other, you have your citizen developers, who bring that priceless, real-world business knowledge. It really boils down to this. One group knows how to build anything, while the other group knows what desperately needs to be built. Now, this is super important. This is not about replacing professional developers. Not at all. It's about complementing them. Pro devs can focus on the heavy lifting, the complex architecture, the security, while citizen developers can jump in and rapidly solve their own team's problems and automate their own workflows. Okay, so what are these newly empowered teams actually building? Let's take a look at where this stuff is being put to work in the real world. The use cases are incredibly practical. Instead of waiting in line for IT for months, a department can quickly spin up its own project management tool or an automated system to handle document approvals. We're seeing everything from smart office apps to entire call center solutions being built this way. And what's really powerful, if you look at a platform like PwC's Digital Maker here, is that you can see it's not just one single tool. It's a whole ecosystem that brings together low-code building with data analytics, AI, and security all in one spot. And the result of all this, the speed is just staggering. We're talking about development that can be up to 10 times faster than the old-school, code-heavy way of doing things. That means an idea can go from a sketch on a whiteboard to a real working application in days or weeks, not months or years. Okay, but of course, it's not all that simple. Like with any big shift in technology, this isn't some magic bullet. There are definitely some real challenges and things to think about for any company that wants to jump in.
To really make this work, companies have to be smart about it. They've got to figure out how these new apps are going to talk to their old systems, pick the right projects that will actually show a return, and this is a big one, manage the cultural shift, especially any resistance from professional developers.
And that leads to what many believe is the future of all of this, the fusion team.
See, this isn't about business versus IT. It's about collaboration. It's a model where the business experts and the professional developers work together, side by side, using the best tool for the job. Maybe that's a low-code platform for speed, or maybe it's traditional code for something really complex. The IT department stops being a bottleneck and starts being a strategic partner. And really, it all comes back to what IDC points out here. The whole goal is to empower the people who are closest to the problem to build their own solution. That is how you unlock real business agility and drive innovation from the bottom up. And that kind of leaves us with this one big final thought. This whole revolution isn't just about technology. It's about democratizing the act of creation. It's about giving more people the power to solve their own problems. So the real question is, when the barrier to building something new is this low, what will you create?